Today I wanted to show you my 7-step daily makeup routine. This is the routine I do nearly every day that gets me out of the house really quick and easy. So there are a couple of steps that you can even miss out, so it could make it only 5 steps. So let me know what you think and hope you enjoy the video. So step number 1 is moisturize. So I always moisturize and I seem to always be using the Youngblood Mineral Moisturiser. I love the way it just comes out like that. This one is the Hydra-Luxe water cream. Now I do use different moisturizers as well. I have about 2 or 3 just so I can rotate between them. So just remember when you moisturize, all over your face, neck, décolletage. And just give it a really good massage in. Now I have got my lashes, I put mascara on this morning and a slight tint in my brows, okay? So if anyone says she's got makeup on, that is all I have on. So part of this first step, which is all about preparing the skin, we're going to use an eye cream. This one is the Kylie Skin, and I just popped a little bit on my fingers there, and I'm just going to place it underneath and over the top and just really massage that in. I feel a good eye cream just really helps. So this is what I do. This is my sort of simple routine that I will do every morning. Obviously I'm going a little bit slower. Quite often I'm doing this in a bit of a hurry. So in between these layers, while I'm prepping my skin, I'm also getting ready. So quite often I'll get out of the shower and I'll put my moisturiser on, and then I'll duck off, get changed, get dressed, and then I'll come back and put another layer on. So the next thing that I will use is some sunscreen. This one is another Australian one. It's called, I think it's an Australian one. It's called Naked Sundays. So it has an SPF of 50. So I switch between this one and the Everyday. I always like to start here. I know that looks strange, but this is the area that I have forgotten the most when applying sunscreen. So now I'm making sure it's the first part of the sunscreen that I do is up on this neck area and along that jawline to really help minimize that sun exposure that I've already had and that damage. And then I will go down, it's getting a bit empty, my décolletage as well, especially the parts that can be seen. Really important, because as you can see there's a few broken capillaries there, and yes, that is sun damage, but I tend to just blend it in, and then I'll grab some more. We are running low, and I dot it on my face to make sure that we get enough. This one looks like it's got a tint, but it's kind of like a clay color, I suppose, but it's actually not bad. It is sort of like one of the makeup artist's cult favorites. Actually, it's a good sunscreen. What am I trying to say? And it blends in well. But again, what I'll do is really let this settle in before I move on to the next sort of parts in the makeup. So let that settle in. So once again, I will have put my moisturiser on, gone and got dressed, and then I'll put this on, and then I'll go do the kids' lunches or something. So now that the sunscreen has settled in a little bit, we're now going to go to step 2 of my makeup routine. And step 2 is all about the base. So what we're going to do is do the foundation, and we're also going to do some contouring as well. So we're just doing the base really quickly. This is the Revlkn, this is the Illuminance. So I'm going to use this one. It is actually really nice. I love the shade. It suits my skin. I will tell you what shade it is as soon as I said that. 317. Comes out pretty runny. I'll show you there. I'm going to use a foundation brush, and what I do first is always dot it through the center. Kind of just plop it on, and then I start blending it out. So this foundation brush is one of the Crown Australia brushes. It is, I'm pretty sure it's the 101, yeah, the A101. One of my favorite brushes to use professionally and personally. I do really like it. It's very soft and it just buffs the product in beautifully. So all I'm doing is that product that I've dotted on my face, I'm just buffing that into my skin nice circular movements. What you should do too is on your last sort of buff, go with the hairs on your face if you have any. I use a dermaplane to get mine off. It's a little peach fuzz over the eye as well. Same on the side. I feel I will need a little bit more just on my cheeks. So I'm just going to buff that out. That's a really nice natural coverage. Just grabbed a little bit more and I'm going to place that over my eyelids. That's probably a bit much on that eye now. Just to prep that area. See, this is me doing this every day if I'm doing my quick routine. I'm actually being a little bit slower. Normally I'm a lot quicker. And I won't even bother prepping my eyelids. I'll just place whatever I'm putting on my base over the top. And I also have just realized I didn't do primer. So you can, if you wish, this has made this even quicker, do a primer in between those layers. However, you can use that sunscreen that I used as a primer anyway, so no majors there. And I'm just going to put some on my chest as well to blend that in too. We're still on step 2, which is all about the base. So now we've done our base, so the foundation, that's the Illuminance, that's the Revlon one, so nice and natural. Now I'm going to use, this is one of the St. Renais, and I use these quite often. They're a lip and cheek tint. What I like about them, especially this one, is called Castiglione. That's if I'm saying it correctly. It could be Castiglione. And I'm going to use this to contour. So I'm sure you've seen me, if you've seen any other videos before, you may have seen me do the contouring. Now, an easy way for your contouring is to use the number 3. Yeah, and then depending on your face shape, is depending how big or small that 3 is. So I like to put a little bit here, it's the beginning of my 3. Then I come down here and I'd like a little bit there to carve out the cheekbone. Now it is higher than normal, okay, because we want lift. And then I always place a little bit here because I'd like to really bring out my jawbone, but I also want to get rid of the little jowls here as well. Also, down the nose, I have to be careful. My nose was broken and then re-broken as a kid. So I have to be very careful that I don't accentuate it too much. Now taking that same foundation brush you used before, just push it into the area, so don't sweep. Just push it in for now. And once you've got that colour in, then you can do some sweeping. If you sweep straight away, you're going to move that colour too far away from where you initially put it. Same on this side. I'm just pushing it in. I want it nice and high. Same on the jawline. Again, once you've pressed it, then you can go about your sweeping. Same on the other side. Push, push, push. Sorry, I started sweeping that one straight away. Do what I say, not what I do. So just placing that, pushing that in. So it doesn't matter what products you're using. This is a really great little quick get me out of the house. So placing it in, and the nose contour probably is not something I would do each day. I just thought of that while I was here, so don't stress. That's making it extra. Okay, step 3 is the eyes. So what we're going to do, I'm going to make this super simple. You just need a medium matte shade. Okay, this could be in any color or tone. We're going to go for the earthy tone. So I'm going to use Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Bronzer, mainly because I bought probably the biggest one you can buy. So I am using it. So there we are. And I'm going to use this on my eyes. Taking a fluffy brush. Now this is my easiest makeup. So we're going to just place this all along that mobile lid. Sweeping it back and forth. Don't stress because it's going all along this lid. Okay, little windshield wiper movements back and forth. Then you're going to take a little bit more and you're going to go into this crease. Again, sweeping it back and forth. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate at the same time. And then you're going to put it up on this brow bone, so it's creating that lift. And that's one eye nearly done. say nearly done because I'm just going to take a smaller blendy brush and just place that also, so it's the same shade under there as well. And then if you like, you can also just make the shade heavier just in that corner. It's the same color and just making it a little bit heavier through that socket line. And then using your blending brush, bigger one, fluff that out. Same on the other side, just using that one shade and just placing it all over the mobile lid first and really sweeping it up into that crease, and then grabbing a bit more and really working it into that crease. And then taking a slightly smaller brush and running it underneath. Now, my eyes have come up because I did have that mascara on to start with. It was stupidly, I put it on and it was a waterproof one, so it's not coming off this morning. And then again, just with that little blending brush, just sweeping that through. So if you wish, that's all you could do with your eyes, but I love to add some chocolate eyeliner and I'm putting it into the waterline, although it's a little bit harder because my lashes have mascara on. Same on this side. And I always like to just give that little flick at that corner, just a little bit of depth there, and just a small amount, and you can see very, very little just running along the bottom. You can add a small amount more mascara, even though mine's already on. So that's the quickest way to do the eyes. So you can imagine in the morning, I'm in a hurry. This is my go-to. This is the look that I go to nearly every day because I'm nearly always in a hurry. Okay, even when I'm in a hurry, I will still do my brows. So this is step number, I've written these down, step number 4. So I will do my brows. So combing them up and out. And I just don't like leaving the house without adding a little bit of colour to that outer end. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows, and this is in Latte. Pretty sure it's Latte. So it's nearly empty. I'm just adding it to the outer brow because that's where I find my brows sort of disappear the most. And that brow there on that side is generally higher. This one I always have to brush quite a bit to get it to look higher. And then right in that inner corner. Now, step 4 are the cheeks. So even though I do have that rosy glow, quite often I can just get away with that and just leave it as is because it does just shine through and I don't feel the need to get rid of it. However, I am going to use that lip and cheek tint we used earlier, and that's the same colour that we did on that contouring, and I'm just placing it quite high. I always like to do that 2-finger rule, so it's just 2 fingers away. This way it keeps it nice and lifted. I'm going to use the same foundation brush, same thing, just tap it in because that's where I wanted it. Like I put it where I wanted it, and now I'm just going to move it up. Again, quite high, because we're creating that lift. Same on this side. So lots of dabbing. And you know, if you didn't have all these brushes, you could use your fingers, so don't stress. So there we are, that just gives that little hint of colour. Lips, this is where it's getting very simple. Same shade. Give it a... So when I'm in a hurry, there is no lip liner, just the lipstick. Now you could leave this look like this and keep it as like a little 6-step routine and make it really, really fast. However, I do like to set this. So what I'm going to do before we go in, I like to set things individually. So I'm going to use that same Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer. This is number 2. And I'm just going to set where we did that nice creamy contour in the beginning. So this just gives it that little bit more sort of depth. sort of bring that contour along a bit more down the neck there, sticking to that sort of number 3 and really framing that face and fanning it out, so warming it up. So as you can see, that really helps to lift. And if you want to, because I did do this, obviously when I'm in a hurry I would not be doing my nose contour. So this is still the last step. It's called setting. So we're setting all the areas. So this is something you can miss this entire step because you have done it with all the creamy products. However, if you have a little blush, powder blush, I would set that blush as well. It's just quite nice. And I'd also grab a small amount of it and just pat it just in that eye, or not in your eye, sorry, in your eye socket there at the top. Finally, the translucent powder of your choice, just run it very gently under the eyes. That just helps work that in down the nose, takes any excess shine off the face. So this is something that if I'm in a massive hurry, I won't even bother doing this. But this does just give you that finishing effect. However, not necessary if you're in a hurry. So let me know what you think. This is my 7 steps to my everyday makeup routine.